Trouble with your Spanish verbs? You're in the right place. Today I'm going to teach you how to use the website verbix.com to understand and conjugate Spanish verbs quickly, and indeed many other languages as well. You're going to see how the website works, and I'm going to give you a step-by-step breakdown on how you can access the conjugations of thousands of French, Spanish, German, Latin verbs. But for this particular case, I'm going to use Spanish as the target language. And I've used this website with many students, both adults and secondary and high schools, from beginners to advanced. So with that said, let's dive in to the video. Here I am on the verbix.com website, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through fairly slowly how to use the website for your Spanish studies. Now, as we know that verbs are super important, and verbix.com and verbix verb conjugator, for my money, is one of the best on the net, and hopefully in the next 2 or 3 minutes I'll be able to show you why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down over here and I'm going to click on Spanish, because we're learning Spanish, and we come up onto this page, Spanish verb conjugation, which is great. We have some information about Spanish there which is quite useful, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spin down here and I'm going to type in a regular AR verb, hablar, meaning to speak, and I'm going to click go. And lo and behold, what actually happens is in front of me, and as you can see here as I scroll down, we have got hablar in all of its glory. And perhaps you're thinking, oh my God. And I can understand that, because I have seen students sit in front of this page and they go they glaze over. This is not for everyone, I admit that, but once you know that this exists, and once you know how to actually use it and break down the information on here, you can find things very, very quickly on the internet and on this particular website whenever you've got a problem with conjugating a Spanish verb. So let's dig in just a tad deeper, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in here, and as you can see, I've now highlighted and got much larger. So I've now got hablar in the present, and these are the forms which you will have seen in various shapes or form in your Spanish studies. Hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan. And of course all of these things mean something different. I speak, you speak, he, she speaks, we speak, you speak, they speak. That's what I love about this. You have the information. Admittedly, you don't have the English translation, and one of the things that I'm throwing out there is if you would like me to actually break these down for you in separate videos, I'm more than happy to do that. And perhaps you could put a comment in the comments box below if you'd like me to do that. So there's the present tense, and then we go into what they're calling here the past tense, but I prefer to call it the imperfect tense. Hablaba, hablabas, hablaba, hablábamos, hablábais, hablaban. I used to speak, etc., etc. Let's spin down again. Now we've got the preterite. In other words, the past tense. Hablé, hablaste, habló, hablamos, hablasteis, hablaron. I spoke, and the rest of them. Now, perhaps you're getting the idea now. What I like about this website is when you know how to move around it, when you know how to navigate around it, life with verbs becomes a little bit more easy. Sorry if I'm making you feel a little bit giddy there. And now we've got the present conditional. This is hablaría, hablarías, hablaría, hablaríamos, hablaríais, hablarían. I would speak, you would speak, etc., etc. And look at that spinning ball there, just to show you how good the Mac is. I'm now going to go right back up to the top. So we've got the present, the past, or the imperfect, the preterite, and we've got the conditional, or the all. And there's the future. I think I span down past the future. Hablaré, hablarás, hablará, hablaremos, hablaréis, hablarán. I will speak. The key one in there. I will speak. Let's go back up to the top. There's our infinitive. That's the verb I'm talking about. Hablado is the participle, spoken, and hablando means speaking. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come out a little bit, and there we go. And then what we have got over here is the perfect tense. He hablado. I have spoken. You have spoken. She has spoken. This is the perfect tense. And then we have got what we call the pluperfect tense. This is the pluperfect tense. I had spoken. You had spoken, etc., etc. So as you can see, this really is a tremendous source of information, and much more beyond the scope of this video. There's lots and lots of other information over here on the right. So to conclude, this particular website is very good if you know how to navigate your way around it, or to find your way around it. It's not for everybody, I do admit, but if you are a serious Spanish speaker or a learner of Spanish, this website is absolutely first class. And then it adds additional information. Look at these. All of these verbs down here are regular AR verbs, and they are conjugated exactly the same way as hablar. Absolutely fantastic information. Now hopefully you found that particular video of use. Verbs are a key area to master, and using verbix.com, whilst not exactly easy, if you can master it, it will be a tremendous step forward in your Spanish learning. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to make any comments, please put them in the comments box below, and I'll see you shortly. Hasta pronto, amigos míos. Now, if you did find that useful, why don't you give it a thumbs up? And can I perhaps be cheeky and ask, why don't you actually subscribe to the channel? Muchas gracias, amigos míos.